What was the significance of Lenin's new economic policy, NEP? Have you ever wondered how a nation can recover from or and economic collapse? One significant attempt was made by Vladimir Lenin with his new economic policy, introduced in 1921. This policy marked a turning point for the Soviet Union, aiming to address the dire economic situation following the Russian Civil War and the failures of War Communism. Lenin's new economic policy was a strategic retreat from the strict policies that had previously led to widespread famine and unrest. By allowing limited private enterprise and market mechanisms, the NEP sought to revive agricultural and industrial production. This shift aimed to stabilize the economy and improve living standards while still keeping the ultimate goal of socialism in sight. Under the NEP, the Soviet Union adopted a mixed economic model. The state maintained control over major industries, banks, and foreign trade. However, small and medium-sized enterprises were allowed private ownership. Peasants could sell surplus produce on the open market after paying a fixed tax in kind. This mix of state socialism with controlled capitalism was intended to rebuild the economic base necessary for a future socialist economy. Lenin viewed the NEP as a way to create a foundation of capital within the Soviet economy. By permitting some market activity and profit incentives, the policy aimed to stimulate production and investment without reverting to full capitalism. This approach was meant to develop productive forces and accumulate resources essential for constructing a fully socialist society. The NEP also showcased Lenin's political and ideological flexibility. It acknowledged that immediate full socialism was not feasible in a war-torn, economically devastated country. Instead, it allowed a controlled reintroduction of capitalist elements as a tactical measure to safeguard the revolution and lay the groundwork for socialism. In the short term, the policy successfully revived the Soviet economy. Agricultural output increased, and currency and trade stabilized. However, it also led to the rise of a new class of entrepreneurs known as NEPmen, who profited from the relaxed market rules. This emergence created tensions within the Communist Party, as it seemed to contradict socialist ideals by fostering inequality and private wealth. Although the NEP was phased out by the late 1920s under Joseph Stalin's leadership, its significance lies in its role as a critical bridge between revolutionary upheaval and the later Soviet economic system. It demonstrated that communism could incorporate tactical compromises to secure long-term objectives. In essence, Lenin's new economic policy was significant for stabilizing the Soviet economy after the Civil War, introducing a mixed economic system that balanced state control with limited capitalism, and providing a practical foundation for the future development of socialism. It reflected Lenin's strategic flexibility and understanding that socialism required certain economic conditions to succeed, marking a key moment in the long-term legacy of communist economic policy.